Hey guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for joining me today. I figured I'm going to start off this video a little bit different today. I'm going to read a quote and then we're going to jump into it. There are seasons where nothing is worth asking for but God. Everything else seems trivial, even life. And I just feel like that quote, I was going through old journals the other day, and I feel like that quote just really resonates with the season that I'm in right now. Because you don't know, I guess, like sometimes what to even ask for. Or hope for or dream for, because things just become so painful and so overwhelming that the pain becomes your main focus and kind of puts blinders on you in a way. And you're just like so hyper focused on just surviving that you can't really dream adequately anymore. And you really realize that so many things that like we put so much weight on, that they don't really matter in perspective. So I'm sure you can tell that there's obviously something big going on. So I'm just going to tell you the full story at this point. The other day, I have mentioned I have several vitamin levels that are critically low. So I logged into my patient portal, which might not have been a good idea. But I logged in just to check exactly how much of each vitamin I need to be taking. I want to make sure, that I'm taking the right amount, because I really need these levels to come up. I really do believe that that's part of my fatigue, at least, and weakness. So I logged in and I was clicking around looking for the information I need. It's not like one of those easy black and white, this is where you got to go portals. It is kind of one of those that you got to click around, go in a bunch of circles, and pray you find what you need. So as I'm praying to find what I need, I came across some words. I came across the list of diagnoses that I have, and it says a patient has small, non-toxic thyroid nodule. I don't have much information, to be honest. I'm sure people could say I shouldn't be saying anything yet, but I've known for about a week now, and I thought it was an appropriate time. I've shared it with those that I thought needed to know, like, first, and then I shared it with all my family and friends, and now I'm sharing it with you guys. I will know more Friday, so I felt comfortable sharing the information that I currently have. It does sound like it can go like one of two ways, that we either like just monitor it, or it could need to come out. There is a high risk that this is cancer. Again, I was given statistics of 98% chance that it's cancerous. I do feel it's a little bit high, but I mean, anything is possible. And that's apparently too, I don't know if anybody has noticed, and I'm getting cat hair on me, which is lovely when you're trying to talk. I'm not sure if anybody really noticed, but I get hoarse. I feel like a lot, and like I'm always like having to clear my throat. Apparently that's like a nodule thing. I don't know a ton about thyroid nodules at the moment, but I obviously need to learn a little bit more about them. So this leads us to the point that there's some sort of gene mutation, most likely. This would be very unlikely, especially in my age, and like just for other reasons. It would be unlikely that these are just two random tumors, especially because I have such a heavy history of growths and everything. So at this rate, due to like different things in family history of my tumors and just my underlying diseases and everything, we're thinking that there's some sort of gene mutation. We're looking into some sort of endocrine system gene mutations, one of which is, the short name is MEN, men. And I think we would be leaning towards type 2 at this point. Obviously, nothing is set in stone. I need to get the genetic testing done. I am going to be sending the surgeon an email just to let her know, because I feel like when I did speak with her, y'all, like she wasn't fully taking me serious. I didn't think, when I was sharing like how severe like my symptoms can get sometimes still. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not like constantly severe, and I'm not like constantly dealing with like attacks like I was like at the end of this last Theo. It's not like to that severity, but there's still a lot more attacks going on than should be, because they should have went away. So, and I just don't feel like she like took it very serious. So I just kind of want to email her and let her know that there is a tumor, just so to kind of, I guess, like show her like, yes, there's something else still going on. And I'm hoping, I don't know if she can run the labs, because I'm willing for this lady to at least run labs. I mean, she owes me that much at this rate. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Because like she knows that my doctors don't have, like, I don't know if they have the panel information, like which panels need to be run, but I know that she definitely does. So I think the least she can do at this point is just give my doctors that information. This way we can start that. I mean, I have nothing really against going to a geneticist, but the thing at this point is that it's going to be like a time thing. So, and by that I mean like it could take months to get in to see somebody, first of all. Second of all, the pandemic. Do I really need to say more, y'all? Like, really? So, that's where we're at with that. I was also able to get my tooth looked at finally. I have dental insurance again, which is a lovely and wonderful thing, especially when you have dental issues. Apparently, I have like a little bit of like dental PTSD, y'all. Like, I don't know if that's like a real thing, but it's a real thing in my world. So, they looked at my whole mouth and they x-rayed everything. As soon as I got in, though, I was like, I'm on prednisone. And that's when my face is really, really fat. And I was like, it's not like, I'm not like swelled up like from whatever's going on in my mouth. I was like, I'm swelled up from my medicine 150%. I know that. So they did some x-rays, you know, they poked around a lot. Thankfully, the poking around wasn't as painful as I expected. I did updose. I was really like nervous and trying to prepare for like the worst case scenario. I'm supposed to like triple my dose, but this time I was like, I don't think it's going to be like awful, but it's probably going to be bad. So I just doubled my dose, and I was like, hopefully this is enough steroids, and thankfully it was probably more than enough. I probably didn't even need to do that. And this guy, like, he was really, really nice. It's the old office that I went to when I was little, so like I recognized, not really people or anything, but I recognized the building. So I guess that's like a good thing, because I was really, 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 really nervous. Lots of anxiety. I have a really, really small mouth. I also don't react like well. I don't react like in the sense like it doesn't work to Novocaine or lidocaine or any of that stuff. So going to the dentist is just extraordinarily anxiety provoking for me, more so than I would have even guessed. So yeah, they did the x-rays, they looked around, they poked around. The bottom line is this tooth on this side is obviously broken. I didn't need a dentist to tell me that. The damage is pretty bad. Again, I didn't really need a dentist to tell me that. I knew it was bad. The nerve is semi-exposed, but I did cover it myself, so he said that was the best thing I could have done. And I was actually really relieved, because I got this over-the-counter stuff to put in my tooth, and I was like, oh gosh, like, watch, I'm gonna do this, and then he's gonna be like, it's the worst thing you could have done, like, you ruined everything. So I was really nervous about that too. And then I felt like this tacky stuff that I have over my tooth, I was like, he's probably gonna want to like rip it out and look at everything. Thankfully, he left it on, so not as much pain there, thankfully. I mean, it wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't like, I didn't feel like dying pain, you know? Not like a 10. So that's what I mean, like when you feel like you're dying, like the worst pain that you've ever felt in your life type of a thing. So basically, he was like, he thinks the tooth might, maybe, kind of be salvageable. He wasn't very convincing. It's like a 30 to 50% chance that like we could save the whole tooth, but I would need a root canal, and I kind of need to guarantee like 3 weeks of stability in my health in order to do that route. And then they would put a temporary crown on, and then they would put the permanent crown on, whatever. But I need that stability, and that's a big key right there, because it would be like multiple appointments. The other option I was given is to just pull the sucker out, basically. Um, and then they would like do something to help preserve like the gum line there, and then like down the road, when I have stability in my health, we could talk about like some sort of an implant or putting something there, this way there's not like that gap and whatever. So I am definitely going with the latter option. I know that might seem a little bit crazy, might seem drastic to some people, but going through dental procedures, excuse me, and not having something like to numb you, it's very traumatic, let me say. And I think like I was like partially numb, but like the whole experience was very, very traumatic to be able to feel some of that. I mean, it's already traumatic enough, like hearing all of the instruments and everything, and like seeing it. And I don't do dental stuff, I don't like it. We all have limits, don't we? That is one of them. Um, so basically, with all that being said, I'm sure now you're all like, okay, like, how are you getting this tooth pulled? We're getting there. All right, so September 11th is when I have the appointment to get this thing out. And thankfully, I was so relieved, because the way he said it, he was like, well, there are several things wrong with the mouth. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, don't tell me that. Like, seriously. And then he meant to say you have a couple options. So I was like, what else is wrong with my mouth? And he's like, nothing. Everything else is great. Everything else is healthy. I was like, thank goodness. Like, he's like, your gums are healthy. And I was like, praise God. I was so nervous. So September 11th, because I have no attention span apparently, I'm going to an oral surgeon facility. I don't really know what they're going to be doing, but the goal is to be able to get me as numb as humanly possible to get the tooth out. They have other options because they've worked with patients who like don't get numb for whatever reason, or have issues with numbing agents, or they don't work for them. So they're used to dealing with the more complicated individuals. So I'm going to be going there to get it out. So it's just getting through, like the pain and the discomfort until then. So that's going to be obviously the challenge. But that's where we're at the moment. So thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for watching, especially if you made it this far. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.